Sir, if you have a complaint, I suggest you submit it through our email system. I would be happy to refer you to our website.
You are done. Fired.
Right then, welcome back everyone. Today, I want to talk about A Million Miles Away, starring Michael Pena. This film just came out on Amazon Prime, and I think we all know that finding a good film on Amazon Prime is about as easy as tightrope walking on a unicycle whilst trying to play the flute. So I was apprehensive going into it, I can't lie. Now I don't know if this was just in the UK, but prior to release I hadn't seen one trailer, poster or any actual piece of marketing for this film whatsoever. I only found out about it from a clip that came up on my TikTok For You page. And well, all I can say is thank you Showzy for making an algorithm that genuinely knows me better than I know myself, because I absolutely love the film. It's a brilliant story of perseverance and dedication. It's also funny, moving and brilliantly acted. Michael Pena really doesn't get enough credit as an actor in my opinion. And so without further ado, let's get into it. A Million Miles Away follows the life story of Jose Hernandez, who became the first ever migrant farm worker to become an astronaut. Wow, what a guy. Well, did you know I was the first man on the moon? I know a lot of people think it might have been Neil Armstrong, but nope, it was me.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
I'm always a little bit wary with biopics, just because in my previous experience they do tend to be a bit boring, but I actually thoroughly enjoyed this one. We join Jose as a child, where his family and him are leaving Michoacan in Mexico to travel to California looking for work. Ever since seeing the moon landing on TV, Jose is obsessed and dreams of becoming an astronaut one day. However, with his tumultuous upbringing, constantly having to move from one city to another and having to work alongside his parents in the fields before and after school, the odds were heavily stacked against him. Thankfully though, after an intervention from Jose's teacher, along with Jose's dad passing down his 5-step recipe for success, he is finally able to pursue his dreams. What follows is Jose's years-long journey to finally being accepted into the NASA space program and becoming an astronaut on his 12th time of asking. Along the way, he meets his wife Adela, played by Rosa Salazar, who supports him every step of the way. Now I don't just want to sit here and describe the entire film to you guys, so if you want to know what happens next and the rest of the story, I strongly recommend you go and watch the film yourselves. I do, however, just want to mention one scene, which in my opinion is the best scene in the film. It's where Jose goes into NASA personally to hand in his 12th application to the space program, instead of just mailing it. However, when he gets there, the man in charge asks him to plead his case there and then for why he should be let in. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone, but I strongly urge you to go away and watch this scene. I guarantee you, after you've watched it, you'll want to go and watch the rest of the film. And if you don't, well, you're just lying, and I will RKO your nan if you say that again. Before we move on, however, I do feel it is my duty to mention to you guys some of the less good parts of the film as well, being the totally unbiased and objective film reviewer that I am. And really, the only criticism I have for the film is that it just maybe does drag a tiny bit. I know, I literally just said the film isn't boring, but I did at times find myself slightly losing interest and drifting off around the middle of the film. To be fair though, this issue is entirely self-inflicted. Who'd have thought that mindlessly scrolling through 5-second clips on TikTok for hours on hours every single day would actually completely destroy your attention span? 'Cause I didn't.
Why the fuck?
So really, as long as you guys don't have the mental capacity of a gnat like I do now, I think you'll really enjoy this film. Now, if there's 3 things in life I love the most, they are that sweet, sweet dopamine hit from earning a PlayStation trophy, whining and dining yo mama, and seeing actors typically cast as side characters nailing the lead role of a film. I know I already said it, but Michael Pena is genuinely so underrated, and for me is one of the best character actors around. We usually only get to see him as the comic relief in films like Ant-Man, but in this film he gets a chance to play a more serious role and absolutely nails it. Of course the comedic scenes are done to his usual standard, but the emotional scenes too were excellent. But just in case you guys somehow still aren't convinced by my 2 sentences of justification, here are 3 more highly recommended Michael Pena films that I'm sure will bring you round. Number 1, Crash. A film that follows several different stories with several different characters from all walks of life that all become intertwined as the film goes on. Race and loss play key roles throughout each story, which makes for a hard-hitting yet excellent watch. Michael Pena's role, although only short, is one of the most impactful, and the scene with his daughter for me is the best in the film. Number 2, Cesar Chavez, another biopic and another rare instance of Pena playing the leading role of the titular character. It's an incredibly accurate retelling of the life of the civil rights activist with another exceptional performance from Pena. He actually stated that this role was his dream role before being offered the job 9 months later. And last but almost certainly not least, End of Watch, a crime thriller following 2 LAPD cops working the streets, battling drug cartels and violent gangs, whilst also navigating their own personal problems at home. The film is shot in a found footage documentary style, which for me works really well for those gritty police movies. And also the chemistry between Gyllenhaal and Pena just elevates the film to a higher level than your average cop film. In my opinion, this is Pena's best film to date. Okay, good. Now we're all on the same page and everyone agrees that I am the all-knowing, all-seeing god of films. I'd say it's about time to wrap things up. If you somehow don't agree, there's a little red button just below this video that you can press, which will directly alert me of that. Be sure to press that, and also the one next to it that looks like an alarm, just to be extra sure it worked. And with that, wait, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, go watch A Million Miles Away. It's really good. And also, comment your favourite biopic down below. And once you've done that, why not check out this other video I made, where I talk about the current state of films. I spent ages on it, and it's really good, I promise. Just click it. Go on.